Today I'm gonna make Cafe Rio style sweet pork. Before I became a realtor, I was a salesperson and I spent a lot of time flying all around the country, so I spent a lot of time in airports. And my favorite place to eat out of all the airports was this restaurant called Cafe Rio, which was in the Salt Lake City airport. They have this dish called sweet pork, which is a meat, and I loved it. And Jody loves it. Every time we go that way in the country, Jody wants to stop in Salt Lake and eat at Cafe Rio to get sweet pork. So it's great for breakfast, it's great in a burrito, it's great on a salad, it's great in many ways, so I'm gonna make it today. Another thing that's great about it is it's not real labor intensive. It's a crock pot recipe. So you set it up, let it go, and then you finish it up and you're ready to eat it. So to start, you start with a pork butt, which is actually a pork shoulder roast. It's a very inexpensive, big piece of meat. It's typically what people use to make pulled pork or smoked pork. You can do a lot of things with it. To begin, you just need to season it. So to season it, you start with some sort of taco-ish seasoning. So you can use everything from taco seasoning. I've even used a packet of taco seasoning. I've used this before, but what I like to use is a mixture of these two, which is fajita seasoning and Holy Voodoo, both from Meat Church. So you're just gonna want to put a nice coating all over the entire pork butt. Next, you're gonna put it in your crock pot. Just like this. So once you get it into the crock pot, you add a cup of good old full sugar Coca-Cola. And this is going to be your liquid that you use to braise your pork in for 4 or so hours on high. We're gonna do it for 8 hours overnight on low. The pork has been cooking and now it's cooled down a little bit so I can handle it. So you just take the pork out of the crock pot and pull it. And one of the keys to any good pulled pork recipe is getting rid of all the yuck. We've all been eating pulled pork and we get a bite that's like, ugh. So you just want to make sure you get rid of all of the connective tissue, all the fat, all those things, and then you just want to shred it up and get it ready to go back into the crock pot with the sauce, which I'm going to make next. Now for the sauce that makes the sweet pork the sweet pork. So we shredded this pork, we put it back into the crock pot, and now we're gonna add the sauce and let that cook together for a little while. So for the sauce, you start with 1 can of green chilies, 1 10-ounce can of just plain old enchilada sauce, and 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. So you can use any blender you want to blend this up. I like to use my little Ninja and just blend this all together. All right, so we have that all blended up in here. If your blender is big enough, you can do it all together in one step, but I like this little guy. So to that, you can add about 3/4 of a cup of Coke. And then you mix that together. And then we add that to the pork in the crock pot. And that's our sauce. Let that cook a little bit longer and we'll have delicious sweet pork. So to go with the sweet pork, I'm going to make what we call homemade salsa. I don't know if that's really what it is, but that's what we call it. And to make it, we have 1 red onion, around 6 Roma tomatoes. I like to use the Romas because they're a little tougher and they hold together a little better. 2 jalapenos, 2 limes, only the juice, and then some cilantro. I also put in about a tablespoon of sugar and then a few squirts of hot sauce. I like Louisiana, you can use whatever you want. So I like to use my slap chop, as we call it. I bought this thing on Amazon a few years ago for like 20 bucks. You just put the produce on there and slap it, and you're dicing your food very easily. Be with you when I mix it together. So I'm putting the salsa together. Got about a 1/4 cup of cilantro here that I added, along with the tomatoes, the red onion, and the 2 jalapenos. Also gonna put in the juice of 2 limes. About a tablespoon of white sugar. And some hot sauce. I like Louisiana. Mix this together and you got a beautiful, fresh salsa. All right, sweet pork. I've got mine in a burrito here with some beans and that delicious fresh salsa pico with some cheese. Jody likes to eat hers on rice because she eats gluten-free. All of the seasonings that I used are gluten-free as well. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make this because I know I'm going to enjoy eating it.